welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Jennifer. Today we're going to do a full face of Surratt Beauty, including the Beyond Beige eyeshadow palette, and I'm going to be showing you guys the new brow pomade in light brown. So if you're interested in seeing that, just stay tuned. Hey everyone, full face of Surratt Beauty on tap for today. I'm going to go ahead and pull my hair back and let's go ahead and dive in. So first, I do have the Surratt primer on my face. I don't have a full size of it because I've actually been trying it out for a while and I'm still not sure. I'm still not sure if I like it or not. It's the Perfectionist Primer. Let me show you what it looks like. I have swatches on my hand, so ignore them. That's what it looks like. It's kind of runny. It's watery. It seems like a good primer. I don't dislike it. It's hard to explain why I'm on the fence. To be honest with you, it's just, I've used it with some foundations where it pilled. I don't know if that was the foundation. I mean, that happens sometimes. So anyway, I'm still working through it. I'm not sure if I love it or not. I really like the Guerlain Watery Oil as my primer. It just works really well for me. I feel like it plumps up my skin and just makes everything moisturized and looks nice. It's not really a primer. I mean, I've been using it as such, but it's really skincare. So anyway, we'll see. We'll see what I think. But that is the primer. I know Lexi Zhang loves it. She swears by it. So if Lexi loves it, there's got to be something. There's got to be something to it. Like I said, I'm going to do the Beyond Beige eyeshadow palette today. I asked you guys on Instagram what you'd be interested in seeing. I have picked up the Supernova palette and the Cosmos palette, the eyeshadow palettes. And you guys said that you wanted to see Beyond Beige. So there's a lot of neutral eyeshadow lovers out there. Not that there's anything wrong with that, because I'm one of them. And so let's dive into the foundations. We'll build up a full face. I've got a lot of Surratt products. I don't have everything, but I do have a lot. I don't have anything on my eyebrows today. I did not put my normal Gucci pencil on because I want to try out the pomade for you guys, you know, with nothing on my brows, so you can see what it looks like. So for foundation, there are two foundations that I have, the Dewdrop foundation and the Surreal Skin Foundation wand. The wand looks like this. It's got like a brush at the top. There's a pump at the bottom and you pump it and it goes into the brush. I don't particularly love the brush, but what I do is I pump up the product, I kind of stamp it on my skin and then use a brush or a sponge to put it in. This has a little bit more coverage to it than the Dewdrop foundation. The Dewdrop foundation, the top screws off like this. There's a pump on the bottom. This is what I'm going to use today. And this is a lighter coverage foundation. It also is not, you know, I want to be very careful when I say it's like not good for oily skin because I don't have oily skin. So I really can't tell you if it is good for oily skin or not because I don't have it. But I do have very dry skin, and when something works exceedingly well for me, because I like a dewy finish and I like a moisturizing foundation, I often feel that it doesn't work particularly well for people with oilier skin. That doesn't mean it doesn't. It could. Some foundations might work well for everybody, but the Dewdrop, in my opinion, is better suited for drier skin types. That's just my take. Like I said, it could be totally wrong. It could work great for you. But the way it leaves my skin, I look a little dewy later in the day. Not really dewy because, as I've said, I never really look dewy, but dewier. This is my BK Beauty 101 brush. This is my foundation brush. It's the only foundation brush I use. I use many brushes, but for foundation, this is the only one I use. I either use this or I use a sponge or I use my finger. Okay, foundation is on. And I like this foundation. Like I said, it's a light foundation. It doesn't offer a lot of coverage, but it does look really nice on the skin. It smooths everything out. It has a dewy finish, Dewdrop foundation. I think that's kind of the point of it. it really is a very nice foundation, and I do like it very much. I don't use it very much, I think, on the channel. Not a lot of people ask about Surratt. I've been a big fan of Surratt for a long time. I used to pick it up at Barney's, New York, which no longer exists. But anyway, so if you are more interested, I'll use it more often. I do like it as a foundation. I wear it a lot in the summer, to be honest. Okay, so I'm gonna take a spoolie and just push up my eyebrows a little bit here. And like I said, I've got nothing on them. And we'll go in with the brow pomade. So it looks like a little toothbrush. I have it in light brown. The brow pomade existed before, but it didn't have shades. Ignore these, they're not coming off my hand. That's the brow pomade. And if you've watched my channel before, you know I love the Tom Ford brow gel. So we're gonna see how this works. This is a pomade, so it should, in theory, hold the brows. We'll see how well we can go in with color. Part of the problem with like these types of brushes and even the Tom Ford, which I love, the color can get away from you and you get it all over. You get it all over the place. And then you have to get it off with a Q-tip or whatever. But I have, sparse brows now. I didn't used to, not when I was young. Now I do. When I was younger, I had very thick brows that kind of grew together, to be honest. I was gonna get my eyebrows microbladed last year, and then, for obvious reasons, that didn't happen. So I'm still planning to get the microbladed. I just gotta wait until, or I want to wait until I get vaccinated, and then I'll go. So that's what that looks like. I think it does a pretty good job. I mean, it makes the brows look decently full for what I have. It doesn't have color go all over the place, which is nice. And this is the light brown, like I said. They don't have a red shade. Lots of brands do not have a red shade. In fact, the Tom Ford doesn't have a red shade. I use chestnut. So if you're looking for something that's really like got a red shade to it, you'll be disappointed because it doesn't. The only ones that do are ABH, and Gucci, of course, has the auburn shade, but it's a pencil. It's not a waxy product. Yeah, it's funny, when I first started really doing my brows and I noticed that there wasn't any red shades, that was a while ago. It's gotten better. They do tend to include auburn now, but not always. And you're like, yeah, there's a lot of redheads out there, natural and otherwise. So I know that Fenty has some red. I feel like someone else does too, but I can't remember now. So I'm just going back in to see if I can like build it up a little. It is holding my brows. What I would say is, though, it gets a little messier when you try to build it up, which is fine. I mean, you can, like I said, wipe it off with a Q-tip. I mean, I will do that in a second. I'll wipe it off with a Q-tip because it kind of got a little out of it, a little out of control. But you can see it does. I mean, you can see though, it built them up pretty well. It gives a look of a fuller brow if you're not looking for something super perfect. Like anything, it's preference. Like, what do you like your brows to look like? Do you like something that's, very like drawn on hairs? Do you like more of that powder look? It just depends. But yeah, I think it does a good job for what it is. I think my brows look better than they did. And if I didn't want to, it holds them well. They feel pomaded in there. So yeah, I think it looks good. Okay, so let's go into face products. So Surratt, the way Surratt does their eyeshadows and the way they do their blushes and highlighters is they come in these little packagings and you slide them in and out. And on the back of each one is a sticker. And that sticker has the name of the product. This is Coupe de Genie or Genet. And this is a blush, but I use this as a highlighter. And I'll show you the shades in a second. And then you can place them in these palettes. So this is a large palette. This is a small palette. And you can put them any way you want. I have 3 blushes in here right now. I haven't taken the stickers off the back, so they're not stuck in, which is why I'm being careful. But you could put 1 blush and 4 eyeshadows. You could put 2 eyeshadows and 2 blushes. You could put 2 eyeshadows, a blush, and a highlight, and you could have a little palette for your whole face. There's lots of different ways that you can arrange them, and I really do like that about the Surratt products. However, when you first get them, it's not obvious because they're not magnetic. So you're like, what do I put them in? But you can just keep them in these little these little slides. You don't have to put them in a palette if you don't want to. Same is true for the small palettes. You can put them, I have eyeshadows in these, but you can put 1 blush and 2 eyeshadows, or a blush and a highlighter, you know, however you want to do it. So they're all interchangeable. You can put them into any that you want. So today we're gonna use this highlighter, which is Coupe de, I think it's Genet, something like that. And the shade is really pretty. It says blush, but I use it as a highlighter for, I think, obvious reasons. The whole point of the Surratt line, or I think one of the points of the Surratt line, is that you can use the products as you kind of see fit, you know what I mean? Like if you want it for blush, then use it for blush, and if you want it as highlighter, use it for highlighter. I'll show you a couple other shades. This is Angelique, which is a really pretty peachy, has a little bit of shimmer in it. This is La Rose de Sour, which is a great beigey rose blush, which is what I'm probably going to use today. Then there is Chaleur, which is also a great like tan peach shade. I might use that. I don't know. It's so hard to choose. And then this is La Vie en Rose, which, as you might suspect, is a rose-colored pink shade. There's many more shades, guys. These are the ones that I have. All right, so for today, I think I'm gonna use Chaleur today. Yeah, I'm gonna use Chaleur today. Chaleur is this one here. And you'll have to forgive me for the shape of my hands and my nails. I was putting together a table. Yeah, I won't even get into it. Okay, so this is just one of those kinds of days. We're gonna use the FO3 Chikuhodo brush for the highlight. And again, like I said, this is technically a blush, the way that it's described. It's the Coupe de Genie as the highlight. It says, you know, blush on it, but I use it as a highlight. I think that's the fun part about makeup, being able to use it for whatever you like to use it for. You want to use lipstick as blush? Go for it. You know, products that basically you can't, like, you're like, oh, it's only for this. Why? I mean, it's makeup. You can use it whatever you like. All right, so I'm gonna use the Chaleur, same brush, as my blush today. And the Surratt, if you're not familiar with them, has more of that suku kind of feel to it. It's a wash of color. It's elegant, simple. I don't want to say simple because that makes it sound like it's not good. Simple can be great. It's not overwhelmingly, you know, pigmented. It doesn't have a ton of sparkle, but it just looks really nice on the skin. It's just really pretty. I really enjoy the line. Like I said, I've been wearing it for years. I don't have a shade that I think works for me as bronzer, so I thought I would use the Cosus bronzer because, one, I haven't pulled it out in a long time and I like it, and two, I thought it would fit with the aesthetic. So This is the Cosus bronzer in light, and it's a really pretty bronzer if you have it. I like it very much, actually. I like, you know, it's funny, I don't pull it out as often, but I do. I really like this bronzer. I have so many products that, you know, I don't pull out as much as I should, and I'm working on doing that more often so that, you know, all the products get a little bit of love, but I think it's sometimes hard to remember all the different things that I have in my collection, to remind myself to pull them out and use them. So we're gonna use the Beyond Beige palette today, and the Beyond Beige palette is made up of 4 shades. It's got Beige, Cuivre, Brun Noir, and Satin Salmon. So these are shades you can buy separately, and you could make this palette yourself if you wanted to. Often these shades are sold out. They are popular shades. This is the Satin Salmon. You can hardly see it on my skin. This is the Cuivre, which is like a copper. Got the Brun Noir. It's a pretty deep shade. And then you've got the Beige, which is a matte gray taupe. I have to say, on me, it doesn't really look gray, but it's got a gray undertone, so I see what they're talking about. I've had this quad for some time now. This is a curated quad. Like I said, you can buy them separately and make whatever kind of quads you want, but this is a curated one that's been around for a while, and I had it maybe a year or something like that. Maybe not quite a year. It does sell out like all the time, which is kind of interesting. I'm gonna go in with the Beige first. I'm gonna be using the Yano series by Beautylish. This is brush number 7. The reason I'm using these is they have a similarity to the Surratt brushes. I do have a Surratt brush that I'm gonna show you guys as well, but the Surratt brushes look a lot of them look kind of like this, which is like an artisan brush, like a calligraphy brush. So just thought it would be a good choice to try these out with it. I do like the Yano brushes. They are very soft. They really are. They're really nice on the eye. They don't irritate my eye at all. They're really nice, actually. So I'm glad I picked them up. I want to try them for a lot longer before I make any, you know, comments about what I think. But for now, I think they're very pretty. So anyway, like I said, I've had this for a while. This particular curated palette sells out a lot. And the shades themselves sell out a lot. And I think it's because, as you're about to see, it's a really pretty, really neutral palette. Are there other palettes that'll achieve this color story? Yeah, absolutely. There's many. You know, there's Tom Ford has these, Dior has these, Chanel has these, the Wayne Goss, oh my goodness, Topaz, is that the name of it? They have some shades like this. Yeah, the shade, the color story is not, I don't think, particularly unique. These shades are very pretty though, the ones that they've decided to put in the Beyond Beige. The reason they say Beyond Beige, I think, is because it's a little bit more, first of all, like this color that I just put on, on me it comes off as like a camel. I think on other people it might look a little bit more gray. It's really nice. It's a really nice palette, and I think it would work on a lot of people. This is the brush 01. This is the Yano series again. It's a little bit more like a domed brush. So I think it's popular for that reason. I'm going to go into the Brun Noir. It's really a brown black, to be honest with you. So I think that's why. I think that, you know, it's pretty safe for pretty much anyone who wants a good neutral palette, they can use it. It's buildable. The shades are, as you can see, like this shade is pigmented. The grayish color is not super pigmented, but I don't think it's supposed to be. They have different types of shades, different types of eyeshadows. They have things called hologram, H-A-L, shadows that are like kind of like duochrome kind of things. That's in the Supernova and the Cosmos palette as well. Also, you can buff these out to very sheer, which is what I'm doing. You can see I just did that on these. So you can make them, more intense or less intense depending on how you want to use them. So that's why I think that this particular palette sells out a lot. I mean, the formula in Surratt is very similar, I think, to Suku. It's very smooth. It goes on beautifully. You're not going to have any problems. If you have more mature skin, you're not going to have any, it's not going to look, you're not going to have any problems. This is going to look great. So that's what I would say. Like, I think it's like a very safe, very pretty, everyday palette. And a lot of people want that. I mean, I want that. So I get it. Bought a bunch of new brushes and I can't remember. I think this is a Chikuhodo brush. I'll go back and look. And I'm gonna go into the Querv, don't know. And I'm gonna put this on the eyelid itself, very lightly at first, just like all over. This has a little bit of sparkle to it. Then I'm going to go back in with that deeper shade, the Noir, with the Llano number 1. Deepen up all through the crease, but over the shade so that it intensifies it a little bit. Go in with the Wayne Goss number 3. Buff that in a little. And then we'll go in with the brush that I can't remember the name of. I think it's a Chikuhodo. Wish I could remember. It says on it BP6. I think it's a Chikuhodo, but oh, actually I should use a Surratt brush. So the Surratt brush I have is this angled brush. Hopefully you can see that. Like the hairs are very short on this end and then longer. And what I was thinking is, and so far have been proven right, it works really well when you're trying to do like this kind of thing where you're just angling the brush and looking for like a clean line. That works really well with this brush. I really like it for that. I'm gonna definitely pick up more Surratt brushes because I really do like this one. It's incredibly soft and it works extremely well. Surratt, I buy most of my Surratt products on Surratt now that Barney's is gone. I'm going back into the same shade with my finger. I'm just gonna put a little on my eyelid. And they have a loyalty program that you can join and you get points. So, that's something you might wanna check out. I'm definitely gonna buy more brushes. The brushes lately I've gone to look for them and they've been sold out. I'm just gonna go in and buff that. Yeah, I've wanted to buy like a couple of their brushes and they're not there. I was like, oh, well, okay, they're popular. So that is the Beyond Beige palette. I think you can see why they say like Beyond Beige. It's not beige. It's got almost like the copper shade has a reddish, because it's copper. The salmon is a shimmer, and it's really pretty, has a little bit of a pinkish undertone. The Brune Noir is actually one of my favorite shades because you can build it up, you can make it deeper if you want to, and it's a really nice complement to other palettes as well. So the next thing I want to show you is the Eye Baton, and I don't know if you guys are familiar with this, so let me show you what it looks like. So it comes in this packaging that looks like, the typical Surratt packaging, which is like a black, purple, kind of prismatic look. And on one end, you have the eyeliner, okay? So this is in shade, what shade is this? Etincelle. I don't know. I'll Etincille. So it's a really pretty shade. It's got like a different, it's brown, but it's more than brown. But what I want to show you is the other side of this looks like it's just solid, but it's not. It unscrews, and then you have the little sponge part that you can go in and smoke it out. Well, I'll do it this way. Which is why it's called the Smoky Eye Baton. And they have a number of different shades. And I really like this idea. I think it's great. I smudge out practically all my liners. I'm not into, I don't really like a harsh line. Maybe because I'm old. But anyway, so let me put that on and I'll show you how I smudge that out. Okay, so you go in with the liner, like a normal liner. It's very smooth. You're not gonna have to worry about, you know, tugging it on or anything like that. It goes on really easily. Okay, close that. Then unscrew the other side. Get your little baton here. Go in and smudge it out. And there you go. You have a smudged out, gorgeous eyeshadow look. Let me bring you in a little bit closer so you can see what I did. So yeah, I really like it. I just think it's a really simple, easy look. And you know, like I said, I smudge out all my eyeliner, so I think it's perfect. I don't have a Surratt mascara. I have heard really good things about the, I think it's called the Lash Tint. It looks like a little bolt, like a little screw. I don't have that. And I think they have another mascara as well. I don't have either one. So I'm gonna curl my lashes with the Surratt Surratt eyelash curler, which is the only eyelash curler I use. This is a much more substantial eyelash curler than like a normal eyelash curler. I feel like this is the only one that gives me the look that I want, which is a really lifted look that stays. I feel like other eyelash curlers feel kind of chintzy once you use this. So let me do that. I'll use a mascara that has a similar feel to Surratt, which I think is kind of like a lighter mascara. I'll probably pull out the Chantecaille. So let me do this real quick. Okay, so we've got mascara on, we've got eyeliner on. I use the Chantecaille. I think the Chantecaille is like the right look for the Surratt aesthetic. Okay, so we've got a full face of Surratt on right now, except for lips. So they have these things called lip sleeks, and I really like them. I have them in shade Bandy and Heaven. Heaven is spelled H-E-V-Y-N. And Bandy is B-A-N. Why can't I speak? B-A-N-D-Y. So that is Heaven. It has more of like a pink. I'll show you what the tubes look like in just 1 second. And then Bandy, which is like Sandy, but with a B. This is Bandy and this is Heaven. And they come in like the same kind of packaging that Surratt has for practically everything else. And there's a little thing at the bottom where you screw it up and down. So that's all it is. I like these kind of lip sleeks. I like this, I like the size. I know a lot of people feel like you don't get as much product. You probably don't. But I like the way it just fits exactly on my lip. It's like it's literally the width of my lips, and I love the way they feel. These do not stay on long, just so you're aware. They are like juicy and they look beautiful on the lips and they feel great on the lips. and they give like a plumpness almost to your lips. And I like I said, I really, really like them, but they don't stay on. And they are kind of not sticky. They're slick, like a lip sleek. They have like they feel smooth when you rub your lips together. The thing is, if anything comes in contact with it, it's gonna come right off. So if you eat, drink some coffee, put a mask on, they're gone. So I haven't been wearing them, but I do really, really like them. And this summer, sometimes Surratt has these sales every once in a while. They have like 30% off sales and stuff. So the next time they have a sale, I'm going to pick up a couple of these shades because I really do like them. And when I'm back to wearing lipstick, lip gloss, these are actually my favorites. These and the Lip Chic and Lip Veils from Chantecaille. That's what I end up wearing more often than anything else because it's a cross between a gloss and a lipstick. And I love that. Which is why I like the Rouge Cocoa Glosses from Chanel, which is also why I'm going to be picking up the Rouge Cocoa Blooms, which launched on the 11th, which was Thursday. So I'm going to be getting those, even though I'm not going to be able to wear them for a while, but at least I'm going to get a couple shades. That is a full face of Surratt. I really do like the foundation. I think the Dewdrop looks really nice on me. I have it in shade 3, by the way, which I never mentioned. I am so sorry. I have it in 3 in both formulas. For me, it works really well on my skin. For my dry skin, I think it looks great. I would not recommend it. I mean, obviously you should try what you like, but by the end of the day, I look dewy, slightly oily, not oily, but definitely dewy. And my skin doesn't really produce oil, so I just think if you're an oily person, I think this would be a problem. Normal is probably fine, like average, combo, but if you're oily, I just wouldn't recommend it. The eye batons are awesome. Pick up an eye baton, you're gonna love them. The lip sleeks are awesome. Again, if you're wearing lipstick, lip products. The eyelash curler is the only eyelash curler I use. So obviously I like that. The blushes and highlighters I think are beautiful. I think they're gorgeous. I would recommend them to anyone and have been for quite some time. I think they're great and they work extremely well. And the brushes, I only have that one brush, but I really like the way it works. The Beyond Beige palette is a old favorite, not old, but I've had it for quite some time. I will be trying the Supernova and the Cosmos soon. Those will have hologram shades in them, as I mentioned. So yeah, I think that's it. The brow pomade, I need to play around with it a little bit more. I think you can see though, it has on me, it looks more like just a brown shade. I don't have anything against that. Your brows don't have to match the color of your hair. Most people's don't, not exactly. So that's fine, but I do wish they had a reddish shade. Like even the Tom Ford, yes, it's brown, it's chestnut, but it has a warmth to it that works a little bit better, I think, on red with someone who has red hair. That's all. But I like the product so far. I think it gave my brows like a fullness, and it's definitely keeping them in place. So I'll let you guys know about that. The primer, I'm still not sure about the primer. I like the Guerlain watery oil. For me, I feel like it gives me some plumpness and some radiance and some, like a little bit of moisture, which I don't feel like this does. It's not bad, but if I'm only gonna use one product, then I'm gonna use that. Again, it's not that I dislike it. The jury's still out on that one. Have I forgotten anything? I'm sure I've forgotten something. But anyway, I think that's it. So thanks so much for joining me today, guys. I really do appreciate it. I hope to see you in another video really soon.